Hi everyone, today I'm going to be tying a nymph and I'm going to be explaining the importance of proportions. Now the nymph I'm tying just happens to be a pheasant tail nymph because it's probably the most popularly used nymph throughout the world. Now what I mean by proportions is the length of the tail, length of the body, the length of the thorax and of course the legs. This pattern has a hazier thorax. But in the fly I'm going to be tying, I'm going to be using Mega Laser from Deer Creek and it's going to be orange. So it's just to show that the proportions stay the same, you can just change the colour. Okay, so here we go. I'll take the hook out of the vise and place the hook into the vise, just like so. And I've actually crimped off the barb of this hook. The hook I'm going to be using is a Partridge of Redditch Wet Heavy Supreme and it's a size 12. Now because we use pheasant tail, it's a dark brown colour, we use thread to match. This is Benici 12-0. I start off by catching just behind the eye and laying on an underbody. Just work your way down, leave the silk hang there. Trim the excess away. Now to give the fly a little bit of motion in the water, a bit of weight, you can either use lead or copper. The difference is, if you want the nymph to fish deep, use the lead because it's heavier. If you want the nymph to fish higher in the water, just use copper. And if you want the nymph to really fish really deep, you can use tungsten bead. Okay, but for now we're going to use the copper. And what we do, we start on roughly at the middle section of the hook. With touching turns, just wind up towards the eye. Okay, so when we're about, say, 3 turns of the wire from the eye, hold it tight, wiggle it, this is called worrying, and it snaps away. Put your finger on the copper and do exactly the same thing on the other side. Just worry it, and it should snap. Like so. Right, now to lock that in place, just run some silk over the top of it, put 2 or 3 turns in front of it to make a dam, and then go back over the copper. And stop your silk at the butt end. Now, proportions of pheasant tail. Now what I've done, I've separated 12 fibres off and 6 fibres off. For the tail, you take 6 fibres, pull them out tip to tip, like so. This is our tail. We catch them in at the back end of the copper, and what we're looking for, the length of the tail should be the length of the completed body of the fly. Okay, so if you look at that, that's about pretty good. Catch it, come over, 2, 3 turns, check it, that's pretty good. Lift the fibres, tie them down to that area there, which is a little bit short of the actual point of the barb of the hook, if the barb was there. Leave these scraggy ends where they are. We pick up another piece of copper wire for our rib. Just run it through your fingers to straighten it. Catch it in. 1. Pull it so it lines up the back end of the copper. 1 more turn. Get the scraggy ends of the pheasant, pull them over and catch them in. Hold them tight and tie them down. Up to just past, or 3/4 of the way the length of the body, if you like. Okay, when we're there, we take our fibres, take them around. 1, trap them with your finger. 2, trap them with your finger. Trap them with your finger. Work up, One more turn, stop it there, turn your silk around, trap the fibres in. 4 or 5 turns of silk, trim the waste away. Okay, a few turns of silk to really secure it, and that's our body. Our rib, right, I should have told you that the body goes on clockwise and the rib goes on anti-clockwise. So take it beneath, around once, twice, keep it nice and even, 4, 5, and then one more, catch it in, secure it really well. Once again, hold the hook and worry the cover away. Now what I do, I look for the 4th rib and I place the silk just in front of it. Okay? Pick up our pheasant tail, the 12 fibres, pull them point to point, take them off, and now proportion, this is going to be our thorax cover. We line them up with the tips of the tail, and when we're there, catch them, tie them in. Okay, so we should have the tail, body, 4 ribs, and the thorax cover. When we're happy, just turn the hook upside towards yourself, make sure it's sitting in line, that's good. Hold them and secure them down, like so. Take a sharp scissors, trim them away. Now just tidy everything up, so there's no rough ends poking out. And now we're ready for our thorax. And this is going to be, like I said, the Mega Laser Dub. It's by Deer Creek and it's orange, but you can use whatever colour you want. You take a few fibres and dab them on. Take a few more. Dab them on nice and tight. Okay, you're looking for about 2 inches, maybe 2 1/4 inches of dubbing. Now to tighten it up, just lick, tip your finger, rub it in your thumb, and then rub it on the dubbing. And now we create our thorax. Just keep the fibres out of the way. Turn there, lock it on, and then we work up towards the head. Make a little bulb, come around, secure. Okay, don't worry with the little bits poking out, that's totally acceptable. Now to create the thorax cover, push it over, nice and neatly, hold them, take 1 turn of silk around, let them go, put 1 more turn on, turn the hook towards yourself, and just manipulate it so that the thorax cover is nice and square, like so. Okay, 1, 2 more turns, split the legs, 6s, from on the one side to the left side, catch them in, that's pretty good, turn it towards yourself, fold the legs over, hold them down, catch them in. Now what you'll find with the proportions, because you measured from the centre to the tip of the tail, when you bring it over, your thorax will be the same every time and the legs will be the same length every time. Just manipulate them into the shape you want them, so they just push down a little bit and then crease them down and form a nice neat head, like so. Just that little piece is poking out, there we are. seems to. And wood finish. Don't cut away with the scissors. Take a blade, pull the line thread tight. Done. Have a little look. Here's a couple of scraggy ends that we'll take away. That'll do. I don't want to get in the way of the resin. Okay. To finish the fly off, we take our UV from Deer Creek. This is the fine. Spot it on. Move it. Don't rush. Leave it move. Touch more. When we're happy with it, we hit it with the torch. Just rotate the fly. And look at that dubbing, just gleaming. You can imagine what the fish see like what the fish see in the water. Okay, there we are. So, following the steps, the length of the tail should be the same length as the body. The body runs up to 3/4 of the way up the shank, 4 turns of rib. That's the junction where your thorax cover starts. The thorax cover, the tips should line up with the tail. Put whatever dubbing you want on for the thorax. Fold your thorax cover over, and then just fold your legs back. And what you should find is that every time you do it, it should come out exactly the same. So we'll take our fly that we started with. And that's not far off, is it? It's a different colour thorax, but everything else seems to be roughly the same. Okay, thanks for watching.